Alright, so what I'm aiming to do with this guide, video, tutorial, whatever you want to call it, is compact every tip, comment, slight thing that might not be obvious whatsoever, put it all into one package for all of you to get the keys to your Model W. Let's get into it. So if anything in this video happened to help you or you enjoyed the video itself, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, as doing so will let you know when I go live during the week. I stream 3 evenings between Monday and Friday around 6 p.m. Eastern. Right now I don't have a set schedule, working 2 jobs, but if you follow my social media, which I'll put in the video, I also post when I go live on those as well. So the first thing I recommend everybody to do is, as soon as you finish the introductory quest, is get the blueprints for the Rust Bolt gramophone as quickly as you possibly can. The Rust Bolt blueprints drop off of Steel Singer Frieza, and that rare is going to be over here in the Western Spray. I think the spawn time is roughly 30 to 60 minutes. I think on average it's like 45-ish minutes or something like that. The coordinates for this one are going to be about 2577. Or again, you just come over here on the map, Western Spray, and it's in this little alcove here. I think the drop rate for that one is about 17% drop chance. As soon as you get it, you're going to want to set it up, finish the quest. As soon as you get the quest, you'll come over here to Pascal and pretty much unlocks it for you. On top of that, if you want your map to look like this so you can spot all your rares, one of the add-ons that I would recommend everybody get is going to be TomTom, and then Tomcat's Tours, and then Tomcat's Tours Rares of Mechagon. This is going to allow everybody to see the general area and where rares spawn. Some of these will travel around the map, but most of them do have one position. So when you bring up the map, what's going to show is the star here, if you don't already have it set up, and it'll bring up a little rare creatures log. This is the same places you can look for your quest log or the map and quest log, anything like that. But for the most part, if I was to want to know, I don't know, let's say what Rumble Rocks drops. You'll see a rare spawn. There's not going to be a description here because it's not a quest. But for the most part, it shows the blueprint here that he drops. If I was to do the Klepto boss, same thing. So he drops a vinyl here, Depths of Ulduar. And then he also drops the Experimental Adventurer Augment. Other than that, it's a pretty nifty add-on. I definitely recommend to get it. It will help you guys. These little stars will also turn into green check marks when you kill them for that day. All of these, keep in mind, you can also only loot once per day. Alright guys, so with the achievement itself, the structure that I'm going to go with this is just basically the way it's laid out on the actual achievement. So throughout the video, I'm going to go from top to bottom, and then top to bottom. So we're going to go from the Mechagonian Threat all the way down to Making the Mount, and then Rest and Pistons down to Armed for Action. As for the first achievement, the Mechagonian Threat, this one's pretty easy. This is literally just finishing the main story. So when you come in and you finish the main story, it's a pretty quick quest chain. You'll get the tick for the Mechagonian Threat, and then you'll be able to unlock everything here in the island. And then the next one's going to be Outside Influences. This one is going to take a whole lot more to go through. Alright, so the first one's going to be Aid from Nordrusil. It's going to be the NPC Myloon, who's going to be the daily. And she's going to appear right here. She's going to be a druid. I'll give you the quest, Aid from Nordrusil, and you're going to need to kill the Fungarian Fur. Probably didn't pronounce that correct at all, but I'll bring you over to where he's going to show. Alright, so the way this is going to work, you'll be in the Fleeting Forest. So if you have the add-on that I told you to download for the rares, it'll show the Fungarian here that spawns next to the waterfall. He does not actually spawn right next to the waterfall. Essentially what's going to happen is these mushrooms right here that you can interact with. Let's see if I can zoom right in on those. So these little mushrooms here, you'll be able to click on when you have the quest. What they will do is they will grow a tiny bit and they will spawn smaller mushrooms. If you already have flying, what you can do is you can literally just mount up and fly away and not have to fight anything. You can go around to all these trees. You'll have mushrooms all over the place. As you can see, there's another one here. And essentially what will happen, once you pick the right one that'll spawn the Fungarian rare, these will grow pretty large and then it will spawn him. One quick mention on the Aid from Nordrassil daily is you cannot loot him more than once, and you cannot keep the quest to do for a second day by not turning it in. The only way you can kill him twice on one daily is if you kill him whenever you pick up the quest, and then if you try and spawn the Fungarian right as soon as the reset happens, like he will have to actually be in combat with you, and the reset happens, then you will get the loot a second time because it was during a reset. The next one, Clues Abound. This one is technically 7 quests in one for part of the Outside Influences achievement. Generally people think it's just the 3, but you can get 7 of these quests done in one daily if you do it correctly. So I'm going to try and explain that one as clearly as I can and slowly as I can, so people don't have to do this several times. So the daily NPC that's going to offer you the quest Clues Abound is going to be Elise Starseeker. She's pretty much the same place where you would get Aid from Nordrassil. It's going to be 70.4, 31.2. Once you accept the quest Clues Abound, what's going to happen is you're going to get another NPC, and his name is going to be Sir Finley Murgleton, and he's just going to be a Murloc that floats around on a disc following you wherever you go in Mechagon. You cannot complete the achievement until you do the 3 quests for Sir Finley. The other 4 are going to be during this, which are still other achievements you need in order to complete Outside Influences. So, essentially what it is you need to find 3 clues. 3 of them aren't so obvious. The first one being a growing mystery. So this one is an ancient runestone, which is going to be around this area. There'll be dirt piles. The dirt piles, I'll just throw a picture up here. They'll be sparkly, just like everything else you can interact with in the game. When you get them, eventually you're going to get the ancient runestone. The ancient runestone will then give you the quest A Growing Mystery. Simple enough. On top of that, when you have a growing mystery, do not complete it. You're going to want to come over here and you're going to kill mutant lashers. Eventually, most people say after about 15 minutes, you're going to get what's called a Night Elf ring. I'll toss that up in the video as well for you to see what it looks like. This ring will give you the quest Strange Discovery. You cannot complete a growing mystery before you get the ring, or you cannot get the ring. As for the next one, it's going to be a historical mess. That you need an old parchment. For that, you're just going to kill toxic lurkers. That one's pretty easy. Same thing. You're going to have to just farm these until it drops. Again, about 15-20 minutes. Do not turn in any of these quests that you're doing until you finish all 7. The next one is going to be Time for Heroics. This one, you just need a Hearthstone card. Easiest place for that is going to be over here. Pretty much right here where this toxic lurker is. It's going to be so tiny you can barely see it, but at least it'll be sparkling and you can interact with it. And that's going to be over here on the map. Right on the side, you're looking at 82.4, 60.7 for coordinates. And then pretty much when it comes to that, you're not going to want to turn this one at all, because what it's going to do is it's going to let you rescue 3 people. The first person you're going to want to rescue, his name is called Adeline Half-Height. You're going to rescue him first. He's going to be at 7533, 6983. The reason you want to do him first is because he's going to give you the quest Deckham, which is also part of the achievement. Then you're going to go to 7605 and 7334 for the coordinates, and you're going to kill the Gluttonous Ooze, which drop Adeline's card. Before rescuing anyone else, kill the Congealed Oils, which are these here, which are in the outflow. They're all over the place. You're going to want to kill those, and then eventually as well, they will give you the old pirate hat, which will give you the quest Pirates. I hate those guys. Then you can rescue Duncan Crackjaw, who's at 8573, 7382, and then you can rescue Leona Mistcaller 7403 5910. And again, I'll throw these up on the screen so you don't have to listen to me say them. You can also watch the video. Alright, so for bugs, lots of them. Essentially, the daily visitor is going to be Razik Ironsides. And he's going to spawn right here on the little hill on top of Rustbolt. Be right here, a little gnome, and he's going to give you a quest, and literally all you're going to have to do is exterminate 20 mechano spiders, which will be on the little sticking out part here. You can go all over the place here in Sparkweaver Point, everywhere here. Kill any spiders you see, and those will go towards the quest. For the next one, pretty much what you're going to do for Rico's Rescue. For him, you're going to want to go all the way over here. It's not too much farther. And it's just going to be in this little area here. There's going to be another gnome who's going to offer you the quest. Forgot the name of it. Rico's Rescue. And you're just going to have to rescue 3 different gnomes. That's all you have to do. So locations for these. One will be over here. Up on the map. Another one's going to be where this Mechano Tarantula is. And then the other one will be over here on this part. It's pretty simple. I mean, you'll be able to interact with this. It'll highlight it on the map for the quest. This is one of the easy ones. Okay, so some of these will be a little bit easy, and then others will be not so easy. Essentially what's going to happen is the other place, that's going to be up when Chromie is active. The follow-up quests for these are Adapt, Improve, Overcome, then the final act, then Be Kind, Rewind. This starts from Chromie, who will teleport you to the alternate timeline. The personal time displacer required to travel into the alternate timeline drops from mobs within the alternate timeline itself. You'll need to kill Mechanized Scrap Hound and Clockwork Giants for the blueprint to drop. Many reports say that it takes about 20 kills in order to do this. I honestly don't remember how long it took myself. Also some reports of people getting this from spare parts farming, which is possible because you get quite a bit from that. If you are able to bring an armored vaultbot key before going in, this will be helpful as well for something else. For Adapt, Improve, Overcome, this starts from Christie Punchcog. All you'll need to do for this one is basically just collect parts from bots around the map. That's all you're going to do. The final act, which is from Azira Gearsworn. This quest may not appear if Chromie is active. Again, the only way to go to the alternate timeline when Chromie isn't up is to have your personal time displacer. And that's when some quests will appear, is when Chromie isn't active. Try leaving the alternate timeline and having Chromie teleport you back to have the quest appear, or you may have to use the time displacer on the day that Chromie isn't visiting. Be Kind, Rewind starts with Azira Gearsworn. This quest will appear when you finish the final act. And then remember that the Vaultbot key mentioned earlier, this is what will come in handy while in the alternate timeline, as the key lets you loot the armored vault bot. You don't have to kill it, you don't have to kite it, it just lets you use the key to open it up, which will give you the visual holosphere instead of killing him forever. Alright, so next one's going to be Aim High. It starts with Pedrum Mechano Tracks. It's just going to be up here. I don't have the quest right now, unfortunately, but he's going to be right here, and you're just going to have to kill these ravens. That's literally as easy as the quest gets. It's just going to be up here in the top or the south part of the map, up where Rustfeather is. It looks like it's 6126, 7694. When you come up, if it's the daily, you'll see the quest anyway once you get pretty close. But I just wanted to give you a general idea on where it's going to be. The next one's going to be Gold for Gold, and that one is going to be from Short John Mithril. That one's going to be, let's see if I can find this right quick. The quest is going to be offered down here. It's going to be around 2158, 8086. This one is just going to require you to kill the Chief Murloc, loot his key, and then use it on the chest. So you're just going to kill Chief Kurgelmerger. I don't know, I can't pronounce this. I don't think anyone can. But you're just going to have to kill him. You'll have his key, and then you just loot this chest here, and then that's the quest. That's all there's to it. Playtime's over is going to start with Rocket Chief Fuselage. That's going to be over here in Rust Bolt. So it's just going to be around the corner here on the left side. And the NPC is going to offer you toys for destruction. Now, there is no quick way to do this. You just have to hope that the RNG gods are in your favor, because essentially what it is Playtime's over is a random quest to follow up toys for destruction. So once you complete that, you will then just hopefully get Playtime's over, which you will just have to kill 12 trogs. And the 12 trogs are going to be over in the Scrap Bone Den area. That's where they are littered all over the place. You'll have that quest completed in no time. The next one after this quest for your achievement is going to be Off the Books Brawlin', and that one's going to start with Usha Eye Gouge. That one is a pretty easy one as well. A lot of these are going to go pretty quick until you get to the complicated ones. This can be completed by doing PvP, or you can just go to the Western Spray here, and on this first island with the rares, you literally just have to kill the mobs. That's all I gotta do, and they'll have supplies that they drop, and there'll be dirt piles around that you can also do. This quest is pretty easy because the quest tracker is also going to tell you where to go and the area to gather all these. Not much you got to do for that. Toys Like Us. This one will just require you to scan robots in a marked area. I personally didn't notice while I was doing this stuff, but if you have any issues with getting any of the progress you want, you might want to try scanning before initiating combat. So over here, south of Rust Bolt, we just mount up here. South of Rust Bolt, in this area here, you'll be able to scan the mobs. You'll get a little icon on the side here to interact with them. You're going to want to click on them first and then scan them, because a lot of people report that they do not get any progress on the quest. That's a pretty easy one, I think. Taking the arrows. This one is going to be rewarded from you when you get the item Venture Co. Rocket Box. Now, the only way to get this is if another quest is active for that day. And this is not straightforward unless you look it up. So, the best way to tell if this daily quest is available is if the Tortolan visitors in Rust Bolt offer the quest Unprofitable Ventures. As soon as you accept this quest, you'll be able to accept another quest called a Direct Approach. If you get a Direct Approach and not the quest Waste Not, the item Venture Co. Rocket Box will drop from the mobs in this area in the Fleeting Forest. All of these robots will change to the Venture Co. goblins and all the related stuff, and you will see blimps and air balloons all over the sky here. Killing those will give you the item Venture Co. Rocket Box. When you pick up that item is what gives you the quest Taking the Air Out. Farming this could take anywhere from 10 minutes up to 25 minutes or longer if the drop rate is awful. The next quest is going to be the quest itself, Unprofitable Ventures, which will just require you to kill 3 pummelers, and the quest itself will mark that map for you and you can go straight to that location. The other one, a Direct Approach. That one literally just requires you to kill 12 Tech Scavenger Venture Co. in this area, so you'll be getting 2 quests in one, so that way you're not farming for no reason. The next one is going to be One Gnome's Trash. That one starts with Moxie Lock Spinner, and that's going to be at 73.6, 34.6. This one is pretty easy, as it's just going to be in and around Rust Bolt itself, and you can go around the whole zone if you want, but essentially you're going to use a rare metal detector to go around picking up metals out of the ground, and then the ground will be sparkly all over, so you'll know where it's to. The best place to start is going to be south of Rust Bolt here in the heaps, and then work your way down here. Unless your server is super overcrowded, you should be able to get this done pretty quickly. The next one is going to be Abduction Reduction. For this one itself, just look around Rust Bolt, and eventually what you're going to see is these little robots carrying around gnomes and robot dogs. You might have to pan your camera up to look, but essentially what will happen is you're going to see gnomes falling from the sky, and then there'll be a red circular telegraph on the ground. Your character will be running around with a pillow to catch the gnomes. If you see a dog dropping, do not catch that because you're just going to have to kill it. But yeah, so if you're there at the last second, doesn't matter. As long as you get in the circle before he hits the ground, you can catch them. If another player, whether they're on your faction or on the opposite faction, catch the gnome, make sure you stay next to them in the telegraph as well, because it'll bounce off of their pillow onto your pillow, and that way you don't have to waste any more of your time. Alright, so I happened to get lucky, and this quest was actually up when I was recording. So, pirates, sea monsters, robots. It's going to be offered to you by Dread Captain Demeza. I think I said that right. Who's going to be in Rustbolt. When you accept this quest, it's to recover Demeza's father's sword, clothing, and bones. Accept the quest. If you don't have flying, you can ride the giant parrot here. If not, or if you do, sorry, you can go all the way over yourself to the Western Spray. This is where the quest is going to be. So I'm here on the island in the Western Spray. As you can see, the quest itself pretty much walks you through the whole thing. I'll put the coordinates in the video as well. So the first one here is going to be Father's Sword. We're going to pick this one up. And as you can see over here on the map, it's going to highlight it for the next one. We're going to go over here. And we're going to pick up the clothing. Again, in another chest. And final piece should be over here. Easy peasy. Quest is done. You can go turn it in. Alright, so the next one is going to be the Family Jewels. This one happened to be up the same day as well. So you're just going to go to Sneaky Pete, who's here on the Western Spray as well. The coordinates for this are going to be 2475. You'll see them pretty easily here. This one is just going to require you to collect 75 Family Jewels. And it's going to drop from all the monsters here, and it's also they'll also be here in the crates around the island. That's literally all there is to this quest. Pretty straightforward one. As for the next one, it's going to be Toys for Destruction. You get the quest from Rocket Chief Fuselage. This quest is going to have you build the weapons that you need, and there's no way to speed this along. You just have to hope the daily comes up and you get the new weapon. And you'll come over to this table, and the 3 or 4 different NPCs here will basically say a bunch of text as to what you need to add to this weapon to make. And then you just go over and click on whichever one started talking, and then eventually the weapon will be built. You pick it up and go around and use it. Battle Tested is also offered by Rocket Chief Fuselage here in Rustbolt. This one is just a follow-up quest from Toys for Destruction, and generally the best area to get the kills for this quest are going to be in Junkyard Depot, but you are also able to travel around to the alternate timeline and kill 10 upgraded, anodized, or corroded sentry anywhere you find them, pretty much. My chickens are not for eating. This one starts with Oglethorpe Obnoctus, who's going to be over here when he's on the daily. Just going to spawn here. This one is literally just collect 20 mechanical giblets from the trogs in Scrapbone Den and turn it into the OOX Bomber MG mechanical chicken, which is at 5432. And it's not on ground level. It's going to be up around the side on the little cliff there. Discs of Norganon. This quest is going to start from Archivist Bitbite, who's at 71.9, 36.6. All it's going to require to do is, the first time you complete this quest is honestly pretty easy, and it just requires you to kill enemies around the marked area of the quest itself, which is generally around the southern area of the map here, killing robots as usual. Once you get the item Corrupted Data Disk, all you got to do is bring it to R33DR here in Mechagonian. There's going to be 63.1 and 56.5. Even on your way to Junkyard here, he's just on the left-hand side. But you turn the disc into him, he's going to spawn a mechanical anomaly here that's going to look like a ghost. You kill that, and then you just turn in the quest. That's as simple as that. If you are trying to kill any extras, or you don't want to farm the discs themselves to keep spawning extra, you can only loot one type per day, and there's, I believe, 4 types, which I'll go through later in the video. There's also other people that will probably be turning these in on the same day, so you can get more chances at killing other rares. Alright, so the next one, luckily was up today, is Cog Frenzy's Construction Frenzy. This one you're going to need a good bit of spare parts in your bag for, and all it's going to do is require you to contribute to construction projects on the island, which can be anywhere on the island. And I'll actually attach a little photo showing you the locations of different things you can build throughout the island. And then also, in this quest, requires you to complete at least one construction project. So if you finish building a turret or anything else, whether it's the armory or a drill rig, you have to be the one that's going to finish it and not just contribute to it. Sometimes this can be a bit of a pain as well, again, if there's too many people online and you can't find anything to build. Next one's going to be Junkyard Apprentice. This one is pretty tedious, and I'd probably recommend to slowly chip away at this one while you're doing your Mecha Done, otherwise it can burn you out quite a bit. You will need to craft at least 300 items, because you actually need to have Junkyard Scavenger before you can even see Junkyard Apprentice. So you're going to have to build a total of 300 items. The best one to build is going to be the scrap grenade, because it's only 50 spare parts. Building 5 grenades here still only counts as 1 build. If you want to do this all in one go, that's entirely up to you, but it can be pretty boring. One thing you're going to want to do as well is use the LFG tool here in order to find spare parts groups. If this is by the time Shadowlands is released, then chances are you can probably solo all of this. Just in case nobody knows, Junkyard Depot is just southwest here on the map. You'll probably need to get at least 15,000 spare parts in order to do this. Having energy cells as well will help you, if you get any spare ones, to just build items that don't require spare parts. Make sure if you do collect spare parts in Junkyard that you're picking up the extra items that the monsters drop, which is hardened spring, tempered plating, machine gears, because you can turn them into bundle of recyclable parts. And what these will do is they'll give you 2 items that are chests, which are recycling requisition, or strange recycling requisition, which will drop a ton of other spare parts. They will also give you 3 different blueprints you need, 1 vinyl, and a couple other things that you can just vendor. Next one is a little bit longer and not something you can complete that quickly unless you have a great chance at drops. In order here, we'll do Big Ol' Bronze. This is a drop from the rare Rumble Rocks located in the Toothy Shallows, which is over here on the west coast. He's going to be in this cave here. Or if you'd rather the coordinates, it's around 38 and 53, and it's roughly a drop chance of 13%. Copper trim itself can be obtained through recycling requisition with about a 3%, or sorry, less than 1% drop chance according to Wowhead. Also obtained in strange recycling requisition for about 2%. If you have the Rust Bolt requisition blueprint contained in an irradiated box of assorted parts from the hard mode reclamation rig event, you can craft Rust Bolt requisition for 100 spare parts with a 3% drop chance. Just to show you this here. So Rust Bolt requisitions are 100 spare parts, and we can just build a chest, and this will have a 3% chance to drop it. Overload Orange is a bit more lengthy. So this one is possible through 2 different rare mobs who can only be looted once a day when available. The first rare being Fungarian Fur, which was mentioned earlier in the guide, as you can only spawn him on days the daily quest Aid from Nordrassil is active. Drop chance is about 19%. I think I got it in like 3rd or 4th try. The second rare is the Crazed Trog, who is located in a cave in the northern corner of the map. He's going to be over here in the Sparkweaver Point, in the cave. He'll just be in this cave over here. So essentially the way this is going to work is the Crazed Trog is going to bang on all the paint cans. If he's available here, we'll be able to see it. No, he's not up. So what's going to happen is he's going to bang on these paint cans and he's going to say he hates a color. When he hates this color, what we're going to do is we're going to mount up and we're going to go all the way. We're going to go all the way in Bondo's yard here and you're going to see these colors. Let's say he says he hates blue. We'll step into the blue here, cover ourselves. This is now how we trigger the Crazed Trog in order to attack him or for him to attack us. You cannot do it any other way. Otherwise, he'll just be an NPC you can never interact with. Sometimes you want to make sure that not too many people are around because they could come by and kill him before you manage to get back. Drop chance from the Crazed Trog is about 1%. It's not a very good one. You'll probably get it from the Fungarian Fur a whole lot quicker. As for Fellmint Green, it also drops from the Crazed Trog and has roughly a 6% drop chance. And that is the only way to get it is from the Crazed Trog. So for Lemonade Steel, you're going to have to kill the Oxidized Lich Beast. In order to spawn this rare, you'll need to kill mobs in Junkyard Depot here. You just kill any of the robots around, and eventually the item called Exothermic Evaporator Coil is going to drop. I don't know the drop chance on this one. I think it's like roughly maybe 1% or less. You do get it pretty quick though, even though it's a pretty bad drop chance. After you get one, you'll need to go to one of the weather stations if it's spawned. Right now it is not, but it only spawned over here on the right in Junkwat. It's roughly 61, 62 if you need the coordinates. But what'll happen is when you interact with this, it'll start raining here, and all of these will turn into rusty machines and also non-elite. And then it'll just start piling, because it's raining, it'll start spawning oxidized leechets. After you kill enough of these, it'll just spawn the oxidized leech beast. And he also has the chance to drop the paint vial for 13%. According to Wowhead. This is one of those things which might be easier while in a spare parts farming group. But again, if it's Shadowlands, this is going to be a whole lot easier for you to do. Next one will be Mechagon Gold. Is dropped from the rare Armored Vaultbot who roams around the Fleeting Forest. And then into Bondo's yard. So usually you'll see him over here. I don't know if he's up right now. But he'll usually spawn somewhere here in the forest, usually starts over here. And then he'll just walk directly into the yard, and eventually everyone in the zone is going to have to kill him unless, again, you outlevel the whole area. It's about a 7% drop chance for the vial. Another way is to travel to the alternate timeline through Chromie for free if he is active that day, or the personal time displacer. But either option, make sure you have crafted a Armored Vaultbot key, which again you can only get from killing the Vaultbot at least once. If you get the Armored Vaultbot key, you will not have to fight at all. Essentially, you just go over, use the key, it opens up, and you have a chance to loot the vial. Fireball Red is dropped by the mechanized chests, which are random spawns around the entire map. These pop up same way it would for farming resources like herbs or anything like that. This has a 1% drop chance. Some reports that it dropped from the Crazed Trog as well, but these are very rare, and I couldn't find a loot table on this for the Crazed Trog. But some waypoints for the chests I'll put up on the screen here for you guys to capture or pause the video. Alright, so the next one, making the mount. This part of the achievement doesn't require explanation, as all the quests pretty much have markers, just like any story quest through a zone. This quest starts from Rizik here in Rustbolt. He's just over here on the side, chilling out for the most part. This quest is going to show as a regular quest. It's not going to show as blue, but you can only do one part of this quest every day for the 12 quest chain. So it's essentially 12 days to do it. Once you complete one quest, it's going to disappear, and when you come back the next day during reset, you'll be able to do the next step for it. No way to speed this up. That's just how it's designed. The only weird thing is that Blizzard doesn't show that it's a daily, so it feels like you finished it and never have to go back. Okay, so on to the real stuff. Rest in Pistons. Now this achievement could possibly end up being the hardest depending on how unlucky you get because of the tedious ways some of these rares are activated, but let's see if I can help all of you save time and hopefully less wall punching rage. Now, some of these, obviously, unless I try and do the achievement again, I will not be able to show because I was not recording at the time. But with all the tips that I have here, hopefully that makes up for it. So, the first one, Mechagonian Nullifier, located 52.2, 52.6. Spawn time roughly 30 to 60 minutes. In order to interact with the terminal that spawns this rare, you will need to have a pocket-sized computation device, which is a Mechagon themed trinket, which allows you to add punch cards with special passives or flat stats. I believe I have one here. Yes. So as you can see, it says you may hack some creatures and constructs in Mechagon. Essentially what this means is because you have this, and you will get this after the intro quest for the most part, you just have to make sure you build it. So you will need to have what's called Remote Circuit Bypasser, which drops from another rare called Scrap King with a 25% drop chance. So in order to get this, you'll have to get it from another rare. Again, you can only loot him once per day. Alternatively, you can kill the enemies that spawn for Drill Rig DR JD99 or Drill Rig DR JD41, which will drop a smashed transport relay. I don't have the drop rate for that one as it's not recorded properly, which you then activate near the terminal, which spawns Mechagonian Nullifier. But this method could possibly be much harder than looting a punch card from Scrap King. It does have a pretty high drop chance. The trinket needed is rewarded from a quest called Upgraded. Once you complete the introduction quest, you get the you get the trinket itself. As for little device that you have to interact with to spawn the nullifier, that is located at the same coordinates of the mob itself. Next one is going to be the Scrap King, probably one of the easiest. Located 72.2, 50.1 in the heaps south of Rust Bolt. Scrap King. So just at the top here. I don't know if he's active right now. No, he's not. And just for argument's sake, so this here is Junkyard Depot in the northern part of it, Mechagonian Nullifier, and I'm going to die. The Mecha Ranchula. This is another easy rare, located 87.9, 19.6. Sparkweaver point, roughly between the P and O in point. So right up here. It's the only rare right in this northeastern section. Jawbreaker, again, another easy rare. This actually gets a lot harder. These are the easy ones. 77.2, 44.6 in the heaps. So this one is really close. He might actually be up. He's literally just outside here. And he's not up at the moment, but he will spawn in this section. Alright, so in recording, I actually noticed I forgot to talk about a rare. This one is going to be Pale Pond Water. This is going to be a two-headed giant located here on the northern tip of the western spray. Just right here. His spawn chance, the coordinates for this, if you do need them, are going to be 22 and then 69.17. Roughly about 30 to 60 minute spawn timer. Rubble Rocks, 38.2, 53. Again, inside the Rust Rock Cavern in Toothy Shallows. Spawn timer, again, reports is just about 30 minutes, but some people have camped him for 3 hours. It's also possible to for this rare to spawn in the alternate timeline. Again, Rumble Rocks is on the west coast here in the cave. Arachnoid Harvester, 51.6, 41.5, southwest of Bondo's Yard. So this is one, it's usually in the forest here, but this is one that drops a different type of mount. I'm doing my entire Mecha Done Achievement. I didn't get this meant to drop once. Kill Saw, 41.2, 34.8 in the Fleeting Forest. He is located over here. Generally, this is where he's going to spawn. This guy is a tricky one. No clear strategy on this rare, as he doesn't seem to follow any regular rules. Has a long spawn timer of at least 2 hours, and he will not spawn on days the Venture Co. is around. Some people claim killing the Sawblade clear cutters will force spawn Kill Saw, but he doesn't show on the map as a star like these other ones. He does because I'm using this add-on, but he won't show up on the mini-map like one. So it can be a pain in the ass. Fungarian Fur, as mentioned at the start of this guide, the only way to spawn Fungarian is if Myloon is the daily visitor, and Rustbolt offering the quest Aid from Nordrassil. Generally, we just go into the Fleeting Forest here again, and you'll see Fungarian Fur. So you you spawn them through clicking on any of the mushrooms. Just go to earlier in the video, and there's a better outline for that one. Foul Manifestation, 66.1, 50.1. Use Circuit Breaker device at 67.56 and 55.5. Then connect 3 pylons. The circuit breaker has roughly 45 to 60 minute timer. So that's going to be over here. You will flick the switch on this, click the pylon, and then you will activate these pylons here, which you can interact with. But this has to be active for you to interact with, which at the moment it is not. Deep Water Maw, 37.2, 43.8. Requires 100 Fathom Lure to spawn. Complete Danielle Angler's Fishing Quest Chain, which you can get at 37.1, 46.9. Deep Water is here. The fisher person here that's going to give you this quest chain is just right there on outside or next to the shore here. The first 100 Fathom Lure you get is free from the actual quest when you finish it here. So you can at least kill the rare once, and you'll be completely fine. Alright, so the next one's a bit harder to explain, which is Oox Avenger MG, or OOX Avenger MG, can only be spawned on days Oglethorpe of Nauticus is the daily visitor. If he is the daily visitor, you will need to locate the robot chicken running around Mechagon. This one is called OOX Fleetfoot MG. I'll put the name in the video here. He runs around pretty fast. You cannot walk and follow him around. You will have to kill him in order to spawn the rare. So you will need to CC him quite a bit. I'd probably look for parties, use the LFG, or look in general chat if anyone's found him. Because it will take you quite a bit of time to kill him by yourself unless this is Shadowlands and you severely outlevel this. I will put a macro here that I'm talking about to target him. Make sure you mark it again with some sort of marking so you don't lose him. It is a tiny chicken, and I've lost him plenty of times. Once you do find him, you're going to want to keep CCing him, whether it's traps, stuns, anything you can possibly use. Probably said that 15 times now, but don't forget to do it because it will take you forever to catch up again. Once you kill Fleetfoot, he's going to say that he needs backup, and this is going to spawn the actual rare Oox Avenger MG, which spawns at 57.2, 39.4, right under the A in Bondo's Yard here, as you can see on the map. It will just be right here on this little cliff. Bone Picker, another easy rare, 65.9, 26.9, is in Sourback Hideout Cave, roughly 30 to 60 minute spawn timer. Bone Picker in the cave here in the water, just west of Rustbolt. Alright, so next one, Bogik Skullbash, Doesn't seem to have a timer listed online, but is more active on days the drill rigs are active in the zone. A lot of people report killing trogs. Whoops. A lot of people report killing trogs in Scrapbone Den here, north of Mechagon. Help him spawn. I can't confirm that myself. But he's also more active on days the daily quest, My Chickens Are Not For Eating, is up. When he spawns, he will also have global text like CSPID here show up in the chat window. He will be in the cave. So as you can see, Bogak Skullbash, just north of Bondo's yard here, in the cave on the hill. He will be right in the back. Uncle Trog, 58.6, 23.5, inside the cave, hungry rest, long respawn timer. That's about all the info I could find on that guy. He'll be north here. So he's right inside Scrapbone Den, in the back of this giant bony cave. He'll be back here somewhere. Then we have C-Spit, 19.2, 80.2 Western Spray, spawn timer 20 to 60 minutes, on average 40 minutes. So C-Spit on this little tiny island next to Western Spray Island. Spark Queen Pimp, respawn timer 30 to 60 minutes, location 83.6, 22.2. After the aggro part starts moving towards Rustbolt and only spawns on days the quest Bugs, lots of them, is available in Rustbolt. Otherwise you will never see that rare. So she'll be just around here, south of Sparkweaver Point. Rust Feather, good old Rust Feather. Rust Feather is far south on the mountain here. Spawn timer for Rust Feather is about 30 minutes, or exactly 30 minutes. So if he died recently, you can actually count down this one. If you want coordinates, it's 64.1, 78.8. Another thing to note, the Rusted Keys of the Junk Heap Drifter. This is a reskin of the Model W. I killed this rare every day doing this achievement, and I got this achievement before I got this drop. Malfunctioning Beastbot will actually spawn here in Bondo's yard. I believe it was in the background there earlier. But he'll spawn here, and he will need the Beastbot Power Pack, which is in Bondo's yard, laying on a metal box next to him. So right here. When you pick that up, you're going to need to go craft it. And then when you craft it, that is the only way to activate the Beastbot. Crazed Trog, as mentioned earlier, is in the cave here in the Sparkweaver Point. Or 81.9, 21.3. Earthbreaker Gullrock. This rare can only be accessed if the drill rigs are active for that day. If you're unsure, you can go to the Gnome NPC Warren Gearhart, located 73.1, 33.3 in Rustbolt, and he will actually let you know if it's active. This rare itself spawns through drill rig DRTR35, 63.5, 25 is the coordinates. Spawn timer is roughly 15 minutes, and he is in Scrapbone Den. So if we look up here, Earthbreaker. Yeah, so he's between Uncle Trog and Bone Picker, right here in this cave. Old Big Tusk. This guy is accessed through drill rig DRTR28, located 56.1, 36.2. Again, Scrapbone Den. Oops. So he's just on the left here. It's not in Bondo's yard. It's still considered the Scrapbone Den. So he will be this one here. It's been opened recently. Germicide. This one's accessed through drill rig DRJD99, left side of Junkyard Depot, considered south, 59.6, 67.2, roughly a 15-minute spawn time. And I'll show you here in just 1 second. So south, considered down here, which will be this cave. So if you don't have flying, you might have to walk around the side here. As mentioned as part of the achievement earlier, Oxidized Lich Beast. I'll explain it again just in case, because this one is pretty hard to explain and I think I did a bad job. In order to spawn this rare, you'll need to kill the mobs in Junkyard Depot, where you'll be farming your spare parts. And eventually, one of the items called Exothermic Evaporator Coil will drop. Drop chance is 1.3%. After you get one, you will need to go to one of the weather stations if it's spawned. Again, you'll see those in here on the posts inside the depot. I wonder if one's, yeah, so one is spawned here now on the right side. So as you can see down the bottom right, requires Exothermic Evaporator Coil. If you have one, you can interact with this. When you have one of these and you activate it, it's going to cause everything in this area to rain. All these elites are going to turn to normal creatures, be rusted, have less health, but they're also going to be spawning oxidized leechets. If you kill enough of these leechets, eventually Oxidized Lich Beast is going to spawn. This is one of those things that is much easier to do when you're in spare farming groups. Again, if this is Shadowlands, you don't have to worry about that, and you can just probably tear through this in no time. Boil Burn, located through drill rig DRJD41, or locations 51.4, 50.2, considered right of Junkyard or north, is going to be this one right here. Boil Burn. Roughly 15-minute spawn time. Next one is going to be Klepto Boss. This rare is also behind a drill rig, but it shares a spawn timer with 2 other drill rigs and is probably going to drive you crazy. These rares took me the longest to do, simply because the drill rigs that it shares the spawn timer with, it could just spawn its, the other ones could spawn several times over, and you could be waiting for this drill rig for a while because it's all RNG. So, on the map here, you have Caustic Mecha Slime, the Klepto Boss, and Gorged Geared Cruncher. All of these are 3 caves which join into the same tunnel. One here. One here. And the other one here is over in the heaps, hidden down here. This is the one for the Klepto Boss. 68.3, 48.1. These drill rigs have a spawn timer between 30 to 60 minutes, on average 30 minutes. This one specifically is called Drill Rig, or DRCC88. Again, you will see this in red text on the map when it's active, so you have roughly 1 minute to come over, or sorry, 2 minutes to come over while it's drilling into the rock, and then you have 4 minutes to get into the cave and actually kill the rare. If you don't kill the rare within 4 minutes, the cave will collapse and he will despawn. You will not get the kill. This happens for all 3 of the rares that share this tunnel, by the way. Steel Singer Frieza, 25.2, 77.5. Western Spray, respawn timer is about 30 to 60 minutes, 40 minutes on average. Steel Singer is over here in the little alcove on this island, western side of Mechagonian. Gear Checker Cogstar. Only spawns when a certain amount of upgraded sentries are killed. They will say, bzzzt, unit defeated, request immediate support, bzzzt. And then Cogstar himself yells, distress message received, Gear checker cog star reinforcing target area. He spawns where the last upgraded sentry died. I'll put on a map a regular area where you can find these. Or sorry, I'll put on the screen here the map that you can find these. You will also generally see this rare talking in general chat. And so long as people in the zone aren't shitheads, you can usually ask where he is or get an invite to a group who's already fighting him. This rare was probably the hardest for me because of the amount of places he can spawn, and he would die before anyone would tell me where he was to. Again, if this is Shadowlands, unfortunately, you will have to solo this. Mr. Fix This, located in Junkyard Depot, 61.4 on top of the tower. Respawn is about 30 to 60 minutes. See if I can get there in time while I'm talking about this. So that rare will spawn right here. Not active at the moment, but up here next to the weather station. Vault Bot, located in the Fleeting Forest, 50 and then 46.4. Again, as mentioned, it'll spawn around here. What's going to happen is you will need to kite him all the way to Bondo's Yard. You will need a party to kill him in time. Once you get to Bondo's Yard, you can actually use the magnet that the Vault Bot walks right up to in order to kill him. Other than that, pretty simple. Enforcer KX T57, 55.1, 60.4. Respawn timer 30 to 60 minutes. The Rusty Prince, another one that's in Junkyard Depot, which again you will probably get while spare part farming. 57.2, 58.3. This is in future Mechagon and will only spawn on days Chromie isn't visiting. So you will need the personal time displacer in order to travel to the future without Chromie. So again, 57.2, 58.3. The Gorged Gear Cruncher. This rare is also behind a drill rig. So as mentioned, this shares 1 of 3. So the Klepto Boss, Gorged Gear Cruncher, Caustic Mecha Slime. Again, spawn timer with that shares between the 3 of these is 30 to 60 minutes, on average 30 minutes. This drill rig specifically is DRCC61, coordinates 72.6, 53.8. Again, you have 4 minutes to get in and kill him once the drill rig has completed, or the tunnel will collapse and he will despawn and you will not get credit. The Doppelgang. In order to spawn this rare, the quest Cog Frenzy's Construction Frenzy that we picked up has to be active, which is offered by Walton Cog Frenzy, 73.4, 33.4. You will also need 3 pressure relief valves, which drop from Cog Frenzy's construction toolkit, which is actually a reward from completing this quest. So you will need to at least complete this quest 3 times and get it, or you will need 2 other people. Again, if this is Shadowlands, you will probably have to solo this yourself, so you'll need to do this 3 times. Or maybe if someone in your guild has it. You need to use these 3 pressure valves. So you will need to use your pressure valves on these strained exhaust pipes. So as you can see, there is 3. That's up here in Sparkbeaver Point. 82.6 or 81.1, 20.3. You just click these. I don't have any on me right now. You click 3 of these and eventually this thing in the middle will have an animation, and then 3 little gnomes pop out and you kill them. You're going to have to give it a few seconds to do the animation. It might seem like it didn't work. Scrap Claw. located 82.6, 77.4, southeast in the sea. Spawn timer for that one is about 30 to 60 minutes. What I mean by the sea is he is south, way south here in the water. Scrap claw. It also gives you the blueprint. Alright guys, so next up is going to be Junkyard Architect, which is going to require you to unlock every blueprint in that achievement. This one I'm pretty much just going to read out. I'll put on screen with any info extra required for it to kind of help you. But everything else will be related to everything else in the video. So the scrap grenade that we mentioned earlier is offered by Pascal himself and must have completed the last quest for the Mechagonian intro quest, which ends with "Welcome to the Resistance." Pascal himself is located 71.2, 32.6, 100 Fathom Lure. Location 37, 47.2, again offered by Danielle Anglers, and is offered from the quest Build a Bigger Fish Trap, which is a quest chain that starts with the quest Fishing or something for something bigger. Canned minnows, 18% drop rate and drops from the rare deep water maw. Emergency repair kit, 73.4, 33.4, and has a drop inside the Cog Frenzy's construction toolkit that you receive from doing the daily visitor quest Cog Frenzy's Construction Frenzy from the NPC Walton Cog Frenzy. Mechano Treat, dropped by the Scrap King, 72.2, 50.1, in the heaps south of Rustbolt with a 7% drop rate. Also drops from Old Big Tusk, access through drill rig DRTR28, located 56.1, 36.3, with a 7% drop rate. Bone Picker also drops this 65.9, 26.4 with a 5% drop rate. Also drops from Gorged Gear Cruncher, drill rig DRCC61, location 72.6, 53.8 with a 4% drop rate. Refer to the rest in piston section of the video for more details on the rares themselves. G9999 Landshark, dropped by Foul Manifestation, 66.1, 50.1 with a 12% drop rate. Rust Bolt Kegerator, dropped by Seaspit, again 19.2, 80.2 Western Spray with a 10% drop rate. Bald 371, dropped by Mr. Fix This, 61, 61.4 on top of the tower with 11% drop rate. Emergency Rocket Chicken, dropped by the Ooks Avenger MG, or OOX Avenger MG. For any help with him, refer back to the Rest and Piston section. Rustbolt Resistant Insignia. This one is going to drop from Rustbolt Supplies, rewarded for every 10k rep after Exalted with Rustbolt Resistance, has a 14% drop chance. Scrapmaster's Blowtorch. Reward from the quest This One's on Me, which is started when you reach Honored with Rustbolt Resistance. It will be offered by Pascal, so that's the robot where you go to craft everything. Advanced Adventurer Augment, sold by Stolen Royal Vendor Bot when you reach Honored, located 73.6, 36.6. Holographic digitalization relay, dropped by Data Anomaly, which can only be done when the daily visitor quest Discs of Norganon is available. And you will also need to be at least friendly with Rust Bolt resistance. If you're not, this will not drop. It is a 4% drop chance. Orange Spraybot, dropped by Orange Spraybot is going to be dropped by Crazed Trog, 81.9, 21.3 with less than 1% drop chance. This is also contained in Irradiated Box of Assorted Parts, which is dropped from Hard Mode Reclamation Rig. Also contained in Recycling Requisitions. The Blue Spray Pot is also dropped from Data Anomalies, which again can only be done on days Discs of Norganon are available. And you will need to be at least friendly with Rust Bolt resistance, or it will not drop. It is a 6% drop chance, and it can also drop from Crazed Trog for 1%, less than 1% drop chance. Microbot XD, dropped inside Rust Bolt supplies, rewarded for every 10k rep after Exalted with Rust Bolt resistance, has a 13% drop chance to be inside that chest. Rust Bolt Pocket Turret, dropped by Enforcer KXT57, 55.17, 60.4 are the coordinates, with an 8% drop chance. Also has a very low drop chance to be in Irradiated Box of Assorted Parts from Reclamation Rig Hard Mode. Encrypted Black Market Radio. This is rewarded for doing 3 daily quests for Steel Sage Geo. He's located here. He'll be sitting on this little light post, little panda sitting now with his purple hat on. In case you need it, the coordinates are on the bottom there, 73.6, 34.3. What's going to happen is you need to do his dailies at least 3 times. So again, that's RNG on whenever he spawns. Some people have reported having to do them 4 times. I personally only had to complete 3. Nothing special. Once you complete it, he's just going to give you the Black Market Radio blueprint. The Spare Crate is rewarded through a quest that you receive once you finish gathering 250 spare parts. It's just, you're going to automatically get the quest. The Scrap Trap drops from Earthbreaker Golok, who again is located 73.1, 33.3, with a 19% drop rate, and Boilburn, which is Drill Rig DRJD41, located 51.4, 50.2 with a 15% drop rate. Mechanocat Laser Pointer. Alright, so this one is going to be sold by NPC Cork Stuttgart, which is located 63.3, 42.9. Vaultbot Key. So as mentioned earlier, the Vaultbot Key can only be dropped from the Armored Vaultbot himself, with a roughly 14% drop rate. The Emergency Power Pack, located 73.4, 33.4, and is a drop inside of Cog Frenzy's Construction Toolkit that you receive from doing the daily visitor quest Cog Frenzy's Construction Frenzy from the NPC Walton Cog Frenzy. I do not have a drop chance on that one, unfortunately. The Ultra Safe Transporter for Mechagon is dropped by Gear Checker Cogstar with roughly a 9% drop chance. The Rust Bolt Gramophone drops from Steel Singer Frieza, who's again 25.2, 77.5, with roughly a 17% drop chance. Highly recommend to get this ASAP. The Protocol Transference Device drops from Mechagonian Nullifier, who is at 57.1, 53.3. Drop rate is roughly 23%. The battle box sold by Stolen Royal Vendor Bot, 73.6, 33.6 when you reach Exalted with Rust Bolt resistance. And that is the only way to get that one. The Rust Bolt requisitions contained in Radiated Box of Assorted Parts drop from Hard Mode Reclamation Rig with 9% drop chance. The Experimental Adventurer Augment dropped by the first kill on any rare when you are neutral with Rust Bolt resistance. Generally, at this point in the achievement, you should be able to get neutral very easily, if not far beyond that by now. The Extraordinary Adventurer Augment, Extraordinary Adventurer Augment, is sold by Stolen Royal Vendor Bot, 73.6, 36.6 when you reach Revered with the Rust Bolt resistance. The Personal Time Displacer, dropped by mobs in future Mechagon when Chromie is visiting and offering the quest The Other Place. From comments on Wowhead, it seems to drop within 30 minutes on average of farming the mobs in the area. Depending on your luck, it could be quicker or it could take over 30 minutes. The Green Spray Bot is dropped by Crazed Trog, again 81.9, 21.3 with a 8% drop chance. Utility Mechanoclaw is dropped by Caustic Mecha Slime, 66.4, 58.8. And that's going to be Drill Rig DRCC 73 with a 28% drop chance. The Anti-Gravity Pack drops from Rust Feather, which is again 64.1, 78.8, top of the mountain with a 6% drop chance. Also drops from Malfunctioning Beastbot in Bondo's Yard with a 3% drop chance. The Annoyotron Gang. This one is contained in a Radiated Box of Assorted Parts, dropped from Reclamation Rig Hard Mode. Has less than a 1% drop chance. It's also contained in Recycling Requisition and Strange Recycling Requisition, which you get from using 30 times Hardened Spring, 10 Tempered Plating, 5 Machine Gear Assembly, which you get from killing mechanical mobs while farming your spare parts, pretty much anywhere in Mechagon, as long as it's a mechanical mob. You can also purchase them off the auction house for super inflated amount. I don't know what they're going to cost at this point in making the video, but it is an option. The procedurally generated punch card, contained in a Radiated Box of Assorted Parts, dropped from Hard Mode Reclamation Rig with less than 1% drop chance. It's also contained in Recycling Requisition and Strange Recycling Requisition, which again is created from 30 times Hardened Spring, 10 times Tempered Plating, 5 times Machine Gear Assembly, which again you get from killing any mechanical mob in Mechagon, or in Junkyard Depot when you are spare parts farming is generally the fastest way to get them. Junkyard Machinist, or Mechanist. The fastest way and most efficient way to do this achievement would be on days the automated flame turrets are up as the construction project. The opposite faction can kill your turrets, which help them spawn faster and to rebuild them, and vice versa. So if you can kill theirs and rebuild it as well. Another option as well, which I personally didn't do, to do it even faster, if you manage to have the toy Sliver of N'Zoth, you can kill your own turrets, have them respawn super fast, build the turrets, destroy them again. They take about 10 minutes to despawn, and if you actually kill them, it's a respawn time of 1 to 3 minutes. These turrets are usually in clusters of 3. If you didn't leave this until the last minute, you will probably have most of this achievement completed while chipping at Mecha Done anyway. You do not need to focus on turrets and complete any construction projects you wish, so long as you have the spare parts saved up to do so. Generally what this would do is you can do the armories, the drill rigs, even doing the reclamation rig itself, but as long as you can complete them. Alright, so next up is going to be Junkyard Melomaniac. This one is pretty much just going to be, once you get the Rust Bolt gramophone installed, this is what I think is the actual hardest part. You will have to collect, 5 vinyls, which can be quite a pain, as some of them have really low drop chances, and some of those drop chances are from rares that are pretty rare to spawn themselves. First up is going to be Ode to Tinkertown. This part of the achievement is literally just for you to actually install the Rust Bolt gramophone, which again drops from Steel Singer Frieza in the Western Spray, again over here, west side of the map, with a 17% drop rate. When it comes to Mimiron's, we have it here, where to Mimiron's Brainstorm. This vinyl drops from Steel Singer Frieza as well, but it will only drop once you have actually installed the gramophone. Apparently it has less than a 0.16% chance to drop from this rare, so it's going to be quite a bit if you're going to be farming this, especially when you can only loot it for once a day. You can also obtain this vinyl from a radiated box of assorted parts, which is again the hard mode of Reclamation Rig with less than 1% drop chance. Also contained in Recycling Requisition and Strange Recycling Requisition, which you create again with 30 hardened spring, 10 tempered plating, and 5 machined gear assembly, which you get from killing mechanical mobs while farming spare parts. And again, you can purchase off the auction house. Next one is going to be Depths of Ulduar. This vinyl gives you 6 chances a day to get it when you kill the rares, as long as you are killing 6 of these per day. Old Big Tusk with a 4% drop chance. Boil Burn with a 3% drop chance. Germicide with a 3% drop chance. Earthbreaker Gullrock, 3% drop chance. The Klepto Boss, 1.7% drop rate. Steel Singer Frieza, again, 0.04% drop rate apparently. Next one is going to be Nomuragon Forever. This vinyl drops from Bogek Skullbash with a 6% drop rate. Also drops from Mechagonian Nullifier with a 5% drop rate. A small amount of players have commented saying they received this vinyl from Steel Singer Frieza. I couldn't find a drop rate online, but it seems like the chance of it dropping is there. Next one is going to be Battle of Nomuragon. This one you can do either way, as I don't know a faster way to get it done. The first way, you'll need to have completed the quest that we mentioned earlier, which is Discs of Norganon, at least once, which starts from Daily Visitor Archivist Bitbyte, again located 71.8, 36.6. Once you finish this, you can also loot Large Storage Fragment, best to farm in Junkyard Depot, which is down here behind these walls. And then there's also Rust Covered Disc is going to be dropped from the rare Pale Pond Wader. I think that's how you say it. He's north of the Western Spray here. It also drops from strange recycling requisition, regular recycling requisition, and irradiated box of assorted parts. And you can also do scorched data disk. This drops from the rare pale pond water as well. Again, contained in strange recycling requisition and regular recycling requisition. So the reason you'd spend the time to get these 4 items, which drop pretty quickly, and only on days the quest Discs of Norganon is active, is because these 4 items spawn the data anomalies that you need, which are going to drop this vinyl. If you have all 4 items, you can spawn these every single day without ever having to gather them again or needing to wait for the Discs of Norganon to actually be the daily quest. Simply start the quest each of these items gives, so 1 at a time. Once you kill the data anomaly that the item spawned, you can now abandon the quest itself that the item started and use another one for that day. These rares are also grouped up, so if you kill one and spawn another of its pair, you will not get the loot and can only loot a rare once per day. These groups are going to be as follows, and I will put these on the screen as well. So cracked numeric cylinder spawns the anomaly Hogger or Razor Claw the Butcher, so those 2 are paired. Large storage fragment spawns Balnazar or Captain Cromcrush, so those are paired. Rust covered disc spawns Baron Chasm or Crowd Pummeler 960. Scorched data disk spawns only Baron Geddon. So these are all the anomalies that'll give you the chance in order to get that vinyl. I would like to give this credit, as outlined by many people, to a user called Dragonkin451 for listing this. He seems to be the first person who noted this, or she, so I figured I'd give them some credit. Next up is going to be Triumph of Nomergon. Now, for the item most people will probably end up losing their minds over because it's a ridiculous drop rate. The elusive Triumph of Nomergon vinyl. I'll start with the easy part. This can drop from Steel Singer Frieza. Again, I don't really have a drop rate for this because it's so low. I don't even think Wowhead had anything listed for this. The only other way to get this to drop is going to be from Irradiated Box of Assorted Parts, which is from Hard Mode Reclamation Rig. Okay, as I've not explained in this guide yet exactly what the Reclamation Rig is or the hard mode, I'll go through that now. So the Reclamation Rig itself is in the outflow here on the map, just south of Rustbolt. Once you get here, it's going to be the only place that's like this. They have this giant tunnel that's going into the mountain here, and the Reclamation Rig is here. Sometimes it might not even be spawned like this, and it'll just be empty, nothing here at all. I can't interact with this right now because the Reclamation Rig event has actually already happened. Downside with this is now everyone has to wait for this to despawn and then respawn. And this could be hours upon hours. There is a way to force it to respawn, which I would only recommend to do with a group, as it could be really hard to solo. But let's get into it. This will require you and others in the zone to repair the rig with spare parts, which then start the event. I believe you also have to use batteries that you charge it up as well for this. It's been a while since I've done it at this point, but chances are I think it's 5 batteries and 1,000 spare resources. People are usually nice enough in chat to announce when the event is starting or when they're about to trigger it. You can also find groups in the LFG on other servers if yours has already been used. It is pretty hard to do, but they do happen to pop up once in a while. Obviously for Shadowlands, this might be a completely different case where you'll have to just unfortunately wait. In order to trigger the hard mode, you will need the item Super Collider, which you get from the quest before Toys for Destruction. essentially what's going to happen is when this event starts, there's going to be mobs that spawn every second wave. These will just be called irradiated elements. The irradiated elements, when you hit them with the super collider, they turn into unstable irradiated golems. They'll be a deeper orange, and they'll grow a little bit bigger. And you just basically, it'll spin around and do a whirlwind. It has a pretty low cooldown. And if there's other people that are also trying to do hard mode, they might have the weapon as well. So that way you don't miss out on turning them all into unstable irradiated golems. Generally, again, if you advertise... Oh, here we go. So happen to despawn. This is really good luck right here. This does not normally happen when you're trying to wait. If you advertise, and this would be a good time to come over here and see what it takes to build. Okay, yeah. So this guy has already contributed quite a bit. I think he put in a couple resources here. I think it's 3,500 spare parts actually. So as you see here, I put it in. So this doesn't require energy cells anymore. And then you just put in however many of these. And once this is finished, everyone will come over. For the most part, once you've actually turned 20 irradiated elementals into unstable irradiated elementals, the last phase will reward you with an irradiated box of assorted parts on top of the normal stuff that you would usually get in a regular box of assorted parts. Again, the Super Collider requires you to have completed the daily quest Toys for Destruction 5 times, which then allows you to pick it up from Rust Bolt armories or from the workbench itself on days Toys for Destruction is up. So that way you don't have to look around or build an actual armory yourself. Okay, now, so you have an irradiated box of assorted parts. You just have to pray the vinyl is inside, which apparently has a 3% drop rate on top of waiting for this stupid event to even happen. This was the last item I needed, and it took me the longest, solely because of the hard mode and the way everybody else would kill everything before I even had a chance to even turn anything into an unstable element. One thing I will say as a small tip, I've seen it work, and it worked for myself. You might laugh, you might think I'm trolling, but basically, before you open the box, make your way back to Rust Bolt. Make your way back to Rust Bolt, go to the gramophone, and play the track Nomergon Forever. Then target the Rust Bolt gramophone and /dance. Then open the box. So come over here and look for Nomergon Forever. We'll start playing. Make sure you have the Rust Bolt gramophone targeted. Dance with it. And then you open up whatever it is, wherever your thing is. Open it up. I don't have one on me now. This is just me doing this. The day that I got this, the person in front of me did it before I got here, and he completed Mecha Done by getting this vinyl. I did it myself after confirming which song he played. And this, I would also like to give credit to the user Dr. Destiny, who actually posted this on the Wowhead forums. I did not find this myself or stumble upon it in-game. And again, I know this sounds like complete bullshit, but it worked for several people on the forums. I've seen it work for somebody else before I even did it. So there might be some weird trigger here. I hope it helps you. Let me know in the comments if it did. And if it didn't, let me know as well. But I'd like to get an idea on if it's just luck of the draw or if it actually increases the drop chance. Now, as for anyone who might want to know how to trigger the event for the reclamation rig without waiting for it to respawn like it did in front of me while recording this, what you can actually do, if you're a hunter, it works best. You can come all the way here to Junkyard Depot, and you need to make sure that you get the enforcers, because they do a slam attack. When you kite them all the way over here next to the rig, you got to make sure that they're right next to the rig. When they're trying to attack you, they will do a whirlwind, and it will actually hit the reclamation rig and damage it. The more people you have, the easier this will be. I did not get a chance to do this. The closest I've come was 10% with me and one other person, because there are people on the server who will come over and repair it. Some people will do it just to troll. Some people will do it because they didn't notice and they were trying to complete something else. But I got down to 15% and it got repaired to 100% after a half an hour of kiting. And also these here are the irradiated elementals. So these are green. When you use the super collider to spin and turn them into irregular ones, they will turn a dark orange. And that's it. That's hopefully with that one, I really helped you guys with that. I honestly found the vinyls to be the most complicated part, more so because of the ways to find them and because of the low drop chances. So for Arm for Action, this one's going to require you to complete the quest Toys for Destruction at least 5 times. This will complete all 5 weapons for you. So the Volatile Blaster, Lightning Zap 5000, Bolt Spitter, Ricketts Special Delivery, and Super Collider. So once you complete those, again, they're offered by Rocket Chief Fuselage, located 69.833. There's no trick to this. It's just basically luck of RNG. And yeah, that's all there is to it. I guess that pretty much concludes everything in terms of the Model W achievement, Mecha Done. Unfortunately, I didn't have footage of everything as I wasn't recording anything yet when I was doing this achievement myself. Hopefully I explained everything easy enough for you guys to understand and show the locations of everything. I tried to do as much research as possible so that you guys didn't have to keep going through all several links, reading forums yourself. So again, if I helped in any way, you'll like the video, or you want to watch me live stream sometime, again, Monday to Friday, 3 times a week, 6 p.m. Eastern. So don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and hit the bell icon to know when I go live. If I happen to help you in any way, save you some time, enjoy the keys to your Model W, and hopefully you got this ridiculous RNG achievement completed.